A new feature has been added to the latest Bedrock preview in Minecraft. Vibrant Visuals is the first in-game shaders that have been added by the team to enhance the player's visual experience. The shaders promise to add directional lighting, volumetric fog, water reflections, and so much more. I'm an avid user of shaders in Java Edition, so wanted to see what this actually looked like. So I tested the shaders in various locations at different times of day and in a thunderstorm so I could get the most out of this game drop. Hands down, my favourite feature is the new water textures and reflections. It adds a touch of realism and makes the water look so pretty. So I dived down to see what was going on underneath the surface, and it was kind of foggy, dense, but I will say it did make the drown stand out quite well, even if it was a bit dark. Back on dry land, it just looked really bright and upgraded. The greenery looked fresh and more alive, while the colours of all the blocks really stood out to me. However, things took a turn when I was swapping over to nighttime. I had turned on a thunderstorm so I could see what the weather looked like with just the usual fancy graphics, and then it all went wrong. I didn't realise they'd added flashbanging as a new feature, but this stayed on my screen for a solid minute while I walked around trying to get it off my game and hoping it would just go back to normal. I'm not sure whether this is because of the device I'm using, but I'm hoping it's just because the version is unstable at the moment. I did also notice at several points that the clouds would change to bright magenta while swapping the versions over and wouldn't immediately change back, so that's definitely something to keep in mind while testing this out. I also went to the Nether, and if I'm being honest, I actually hated the way it looked. The fog had this weird blue tinge to it, so no matter what biome I was in, everything was just a little bit too much. I know this can be customised for the player's preference, but I think they really need to tone it down. While it did look pretty at some points, especially in this Crimson Forest, it just lost the essence of what the Nether in this game is supposed to be like. It's this kind of hellscape and there's lava everywhere, and honestly, you couldn't see it. For reference, this is what the Nether is actually supposed to look like. For me, it's just too much of a difference and it was really difficult to game with. Finally, I went to the end and I feel like, again, the visuals just didn't work correctly. The mob's eyes stood out with this purple glow, but if I walked around too much, the sky kept changing to a really bright light with purple flashes, and then it just went super dark. If I was trying to kill the Ender Dragon in survival, I feel like this would be really jarring and off-putting. So, will vibrant visuals be a great addition to the game? Possibly. So I think it does look fantastic in the overworld and it really lives up to its name. Everything's vibrant, refreshed and bright. I will say though, at night time, I think it's too light and it kind of almost looks like the mobs shouldn't be able to spawn, but of course they do anyway because it's nighttime, but it's just not dark enough for me. I also think the shaders in the Nether and the end just don't work for me personally. They take the essence of those locations away from what they usually are and just make them difficult to enjoy exploring in. So currently the team is working on making this available for Java Edition, which is definitely going to take them some time. For this drop they had to rewrite how the game is coded for this to actually be compatible for all the different devices, so it will be interesting to see whether the Java version will be ready for the summer 2025 update. If you want to find out more about the new features, head over to my next video where I'm talking about my new favourite thing, the Happy Ghast. And that's also going to be released in the summer 2025 update. Please let me know your thoughts on the new shaders in the comments and I'll see you next time.